Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we have some rather exciting news. If you've been missing out on Chaos Gate Daemonhunters and wished for some new content, well, a new DLC is on the way. On December 6th there will be a new DLC launch which will add in a Dreadnought unit. Yes, it's about time that we started getting something big that we could fight against those Hellbrutes with, and also a Techmarine. We'll be checking out some footage. A disclaimer here, this is not my gameplay. This was kindly provided by the developers and the publishers, as I recently took part in a game showcase where I was able to check out new stuff that's on the way, and this is the one that actually jumped out the most at me because, you know, Warhammer channel. Plus, I absolutely adored this game during its launch. I played a lot of it. I think I was doing like 10-hour streams every single day, so it's going to be good to jump back for a new DLC. And if you haven't been playing for a while, they've been doing a lot of updates to this game, like a lot of updates, and even adding in some new enemy types too. So you've already been able to see through the clips that I've already been showing, the Dreadnought is quite strong, and this is a big boy to be able to add in a bit of extra power for those more difficult missions. The Techmarine is also coming in, which will provide some support for the Dreadnought, acting like a way to keep your Dreadnought alive should you get overwhelmed. But the Dreadnought, from what I've been able to see, has been doing a lot of damage. Techmarines are also super cool. I mean, they just look absolutely awesome, and the fact is that, yeah, from what we can see, they can also do a decent amount of damage up front and personal, same thing as the Apothecary. So don't just think that this is going to be a weak unit that's only going to serve to protect the Dreadnought and heal the Dreadnought. You can have it there doing its damage too. You can see now also that the squad size is a little bit bigger. I have got confirmation that when it comes to some certain missions, you will have the Dreadnought as a 5th member to your squad. That means that you can have 3 Marines and 1 Techmarine, or, you know, if you want to go with all Interceptors or Terminators, it really depends on how you like your playstyle. But it's good to know that the Dreadnought will not be taking up the slot from anyone else. So I've not been able to play with the DLC just yet. I imagine that that's going to be closer to release. However, so far, with the clips provided, it's quite impressive seeing it move around, destroy terrain as it moves, because, you know, tight locations for a sarcophagus is a bit difficult. But yeah, the damage output looks quite satisfying, and really, we kind of needed one. I did struggle myself a few times when it came to Hellbrutes, and in general, just being swarmed through certain missions. This is all going to be through a new type of mission known as the Technophage Elite. This is where you're going to be able to start fielding your Dreadnoughts. And the missions aren't that difficult to find, really. When you go to certain locations, you'll see the usual pop-up. This is all that you're already used to, and the details there will say if it's an outbreak, and there you go. There's when you're going to start dealing with larger groups of enemies. They're going to be a lot more able to swarm you, so you need something big to be able to deal with those swarms. I really hope that the Interceptor spam is still viable. It's been a while myself, but I think before this DLC comes, I might have to check out all the updates that have happened just to make sure as what I could do to deal with swarms and stuff. But obviously things will change once I get my hands on a big Dreadnought. I'm actually really excited about this because when I first played this game, I was saying, oh, it'd be really cool if we had a Dready so we could actually do some big damage and we had something that was really heavy tank worthy. Seeing a full squad together is really, really cool, and the Dreadnought is going to be just like your Marines in a sense, where it's going to be customizable. You're going to be able to change around the loadouts for different types of weapons that you may be able to pick up or get through requisition. You've also got your own unique skills and stuff, you know, all the abilities. So this means that you're going to be able to buff it up, and that's the same thing with the Tech Priest. You're going to be able to play around and tailor it to how you normally have your Tech Priest on the tabletop in a sense. That's the great thing about this game. It reminds me a lot about the tabletop. Just because your units, your Marines, are just very customizable, you can have your squads the way you want it, and that's going to be obviously depending on your playstyle, but it allows you to experiment. I'm really curious as to how the Techmarine will work. We don't really have a lot of information just yet, but I'm imagining it's going to focus primarily on buffing up the Dreadnought, but still being able to do a decent amount of melee damage. Think of it like an Apothecary. Mind you, when I first played, my Apothecaries were quite deadly, and I actually memed a little bit with a full squad of Apothecary Terminators, which was, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what weird meme stacks we can get sorted here. Obviously, it's very important to note, at least from what I can see from this footage, is that the Dreadnought will not carry your team. While the Dreadnought is still able to do a lot of damage, take out a lot of armor, even got a decent amount of AoE from what we've seen earlier on in the clips, yeah, this is still a squad-based team game. You still have to use your squad. You've got 5 troops on the field for these special types of missions, and you've got to be able to use them all to the best of their abilities because, yeah, they can't carry. Mind you, Garen Crow was pretty strong, so I'd like to see how he works here. Will he just be as overpowered, or has he been nerfed over the time? Because if you haven't played in a while, he could essentially solo bosses and a lot of areas by himself. And I'd just like to see how he would synergize with, the Dreadnought and the Techmarine. All this stuff makes me really curious and more excited to try this out. I am super, super excited, especially as we start seeing more and more clips of how the Dreadnought starts working in game, as we can see a lot of different attacks, we can see loads of different abilities, and I think that's like really, really, really cool. As when it came to Dreadnoughts on the tabletop, it really depended on how you played, what they had available. They had so many different options. There's the great thing about the Dreads, and really a lot of things about the Space Marines. So being able to tailor my Dreadnought for what I want, I'm probably going to go full melee, but maybe support, full range support would be cool, or a mix. Maybe this could just give reasons just to try out different playstyles, different saves. All this looks very, very promising, so yeah, I can't wait to play this, and hopefully it will be soon on Twitch, or maybe here on YouTube. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about this DLC? I know a lot of people were asking about the potential of Dreadnoughts and stuff, and here we are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have some clips of the Dreadnoughts so you can just hear a little bit of the sound of it, because that's always kind of fun. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.